Now here we have getting back to the number when number of factors is given. Let's try to understand. The question is, a number has 24 factors. What can you say about the number? Let's try to understand this. Here we don't know anything about the original number. The only thing that we can do is we can assume. How will you start doing things? You will start on the basis of number of prime factors. Basis of number of prime factors. All right. Let's try to understand. We don't know the value of prime factor also. Let's assume it to be anything, doesn't matter. Cases कैसे बनेंगे? Let's try to understand that. If the number has only one prime factor, how do you make out here? Okay, only one prime factor. Then the number has to be of the form some prime factor, let's call it P1 to the power x. And the number of factors will be x plus 1, and that is given how much? 24. Is it okay? X equal to 23, right. So the structure of number here has to be n equal to that prime factor to the power 23. Okay, just try to understand that. The prime number could be anything, don't worry about that. I just want to show what you can think or how you have to think. Similarly the other case, this is case 1, case 2. If the number has two prime factors, so where up to what situation it will go on? It will go on up to the situation in the maximum number of parts that 24 can be broken. So let's go one by one, then it will be more clear. If the number has two prime factors, then the number structure will look like number equal to P1 to the power x into P2 to the power y. In that case, the number of factors will be what? It will be x plus 1 into y plus 1. Right? Now, it has to be equal to how much? 24. Is it possible to break 24 into two parts? Yes. And there are many ways of doing that. And just remember that here each part, see, minimum value of these powers has to be 1. So, x plus 1 minimum will be 2. It cannot be less than 2. Please try to understand that x cannot be 0 here. The power cannot be 0 here. X or y, these powers cannot be 0 here. Alright. So this x plus 1, y plus 1 has to be more than 2. So can I break 24 into two parts, making sure that both x parts are more than or equal to 2? Yes. 2 into 12 or 3 into 8 or 4 into 6. Right? Yeah. Oh, so there are three ways. And in each case, do you realize that the values of x and y will be what? For 2 and 12, x will be 1, y will be 11. For 3 and 8, x will be 2, y will be 7. For 4 and 6, x will be 3, y will be 5. So the possible situations for n, for the original number will be P1 to the power 1 into P2 to the power 11, or P1 to the power 2 into P2 to the power 7, or P1 to the power 3 into P2 to the power 5. This is what you have to understand, right? What if the number has three prime factors? Let's say case 3. Depending upon the question, you will have to decide whether we need to consider all cases or any one specific case. If the number has, let's say, 3 prime factors, then what? If the number has 3 prime factors, then the same process, I think I'll directly write it. N is equal to, let's assume P1 to the power x into P2 to the power y into P3 to the power z. So the number of factors will be what? It will be equal to x plus 1 into y plus 1 into z plus 1. Don't worry about the order of it. 2 into 12 or 12 into 2 doesn't matter, because anyways P1 and P2 are unknown. Now this is equal to 24. So is it possible to break 24 into 3 parts such that each part is more than or equal to 2? Let's check it. 2 into 2 into 6. Oh yes. 2 into 3 into 4. Oh right. I think there is no other way. So only 2 ways. What will be the possible situations for the numbers? If you see 2 to 6 are the values of x plus 1, y plus 1 and z plus 1, then the number will be P1 to the power 1 into P2 to the power 1 into P3 to the power 5. Or it could also be for 2, 3, 4, it will be P1 to the power 1 into P2 to the power 2 into P3 to the power 3. Right? Now, do I need to go ahead? That will depend. Can you break 24 into 4 parts? For the number to have 4 factors, 4 prime factors, then 24 we should be able to break 24 into product of 4 parts such that each part is more than or equal to 2. Is it possible? Let's check it. Even if I take 2 into 2 into 2 into 3, oh yes, this is the last case. So case 4 is this one where the number has 4 prime factors. And there is only one situation here. I hope you can see that. This is the only one situation. Alright. So in this case, the number will be of the form p1 to the power 1, p2 to the power 1, p3 to the power 1 and p4 to the power 2. Just check again. I have just explained the concept, right? Just check again if there are more possibilities here. If there are more possibilities here, the logic is very, very clear. Then further, can it have 5 prime factors? For that, you will have to check 24. So maybe you could have started this thing that in how many ways we can break it into 2 parts or 3 parts and so on and so forth. Can we break 24 into 5 parts, making sure that each one of them is more than 2? No, because you see this 2, this 2, this 2, this 3 is prime number. So none of them can be further broken. So for 24 factors, these are the 4 cases. Now, depending upon the question, you will choose a particular situation. If the number of factors is less, say for example, 8 factors or let's say 15 factors, then obviously the number of cases will be much, much lesser, as you can see.